Hey guys, the truck camper video exceeded my expectations. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you have seen it, thank you so much for watching. Keep everybody interested. I figured I'd do another video of the van that I built out it was 5 years ago. It was a 97 Ford Econoline E350 with a 7.3 diesel in it. I loved living in it, I loved building it, so I figured I'd share the video. Hope you guys enjoy. I paid $5,600 for the van, and it had 112,000 miles on it. So that in itself was pretty good to find a 7.3 with only 112,000. I got it from a guy who bought it at auction from the city of Philadelphia, but I rescued it from the salt and brought it down here to Florida. The top, I found an awesome deal on that on Craigslist. It was $600. It's got a couple imperfections on the front, but it was exactly what I was looking for. I only had to drive like 600 miles to get it. All right, let's take a look at the inside. So this is the inside. The top, as you can see at this level, this is where the old top came across in like a dome shape, so it would really limit the inside capability. But with the top, it added 20 inches of interior height. What that did is allowed me some space for the spray foam insulation, around 2.5 to 3 inches on the sides of closed cell spray foam, and then it was about 2.5 inches on the ceiling. These are bamboo silverware trays, and I just screwed them into the wall, and they actually work really well for holding stuff we use all the time, like toothbrushes and koozies, must have. The hot sauce, gotta have the hot sauce, and the honey, got the local honey too. I hung that cutting board, which looks really pretty, but is the most annoying thing in the world, because it will sit here and just go like this while you're driving. So if you forget to take it off, I have to pull over and take it off the wall. And then obviously my fishing pole, had to have a spot for that. So I have a total of 5 AC receptacles that only work obviously when I'm plugged in to shore power. So this is the switch. Right now we're on battery power because we're not plugged in, and then there's shore power. So if we plug in, what that does is it feeds from the power converter into this on the shore power side, and then feeds the 12 volt fuse panel. That's the solar charge controller remote control. Yeah, it works good. I should have mounted that a little bit higher so I don't have to lay down on the deck to read what the screen says. Solar panel, it's 100 watt. And then behind that is the fantastic vent hood. Our main entry door. And I decided to put the light switch right here. The perimeter lighting around the top of the ceiling. So that's, yeah. These work really well. They're just little touch buck lights that go, just pretty simple. And these come in super handy because when Erin gets up to go to work early, then she can just hit this and then light up this little area, basically our dressing room.
So I'm not the best to talk about the build of the cabinets since I didn't do that, but I can tell you this is really pretty mahogany that Steve reclaimed, and he designed the cabinet structure, and it's so pretty and practical. These fold out like this, and we've got our toiletry boxes in there, and then our cook stove case, and then gray water drains from the sink into our gray water tank, which is super nice and well thought out because we can just open the side door and empty the gray water tank. Also a nice feature is that these cabinets are, what is the word?
Soft closing.
Soft closing. I would say that one downside to this layout is that when the bed is down, you can't open these. Then what I like that Steve did is he has different kind of size and styles of drawers. So we've got 2 really deep drawers with more space than we know what to do with actually. I mean, this thing is full, it can fit wine bottles, olive oil bottles, a lot of condiments, and
Pop it open, let's see what's in there.
well, I don't know how organized it is. But I mean, it's just massive.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
It is, it's super deep, and just all the non-perishable foods go in there. And then I won't show you this, but usually when we take the van on the road, I kind of toss in my extra clothes that I don't usually keep in here, like a few extra shoes or jackets or something. So this is kind of our catch-all. And then these are a little wider but shallower, which is great for kitchen stuff. Also not well organized, but pots and pans, and then plates, dishes, Tupperware, and then kind of miscellaneous utensils. And we purposefully put in this drawer breakfast stuff that Steve would want to get to in the morning, because he'll make some coffee on that little 1-burner stove, or even warm up a little meal. And so when the bed's out, he can still access this drawer. So Steve can get his coffee stuff while the bed is out and not have to do any work to make coffee. Countertop space is really big. We were initially pretty happy with this sink. It's proven to be a little small when doing dishes. But what Steve did that was cool is the faucet is just a spray nozzle, which is nice because you can direct it anywhere you want. And it limits water flow, I think. Is that true?
That is true.
Backsplash courtesy of Home Depot. And Steve was a trooper because I picked this out. I thought it looked so cool. And this material is not really fun to work with when you're dealing with a slanted surface, it turns out, with nothing to nail into. But Steve did a really good job. This backsplash and countertop, I think, looks really nice for a van, and is super low cost. I mean, this was a little more expensive. It was about $40 for the backsplash, but I think it really dresses the place up. I like it. So we also have our little pantry drawer down here that pulls out, and we've just been throwing stuff in it. It's honestly more space than we need. It's not even full, and 24 inches deep. So that's really good.
All right, so this is the isotherm. I believe it's the Cruise 65. So this is a 12-volt marine refrigerator. It holds a lot of stuff, and I've been very happy with it, mostly because it runs off the solar panel. So that obviously you can't put 30 beers in there, which is a drawback, but we can fit a week's worth of meals in there. So this is the fantastic fan. Everybody raves about them. I'm really not too crazy about it. 2 reasons. One, the top is very chintzy. I don't know if you can hear it like bouncing around up there, but there's only one arm that basically lifts the top up. The second thing I'm not too crazy about is I think it makes a lot of noise, and it seems like it's cheap Chinese bearings, because they start squeaking. When it slows down, you'll be able to hear it. I thought that was kind of, you know, for a $200 fan, I thought that they'd at least use some good bearings so it wouldn't squeak. But it is what it is. It works. In the future, I would go with a different brand for sure. So one of the design aspects that on paper seemed like it was going to work perfectly without any problems was the bed that Murphy'd, or I guess it's not really Murphy, it's a futon-ish. And it does work good. The problem being the Tempur-Pedic. I refuse to not put my Tempur-Pedic in here, and that has been a huge problem as far as putting the bed up and down. Going down is fine. Going back up is a pain in the ass. But I'm only gonna do it once a day, and it's not that big of a deal. I got a pretty good method now, so I'll show you how I do that. So my assistant puts the leg out. All right. So going down is no problem, and it's very cozy. That's my cubby over there. I like sleeping in little cubbies, so that's nice. And as you can see, it's a full-size mattress cut down from a queen, which cutting a Tempur-Pedic is not the easiest thing, but it turns out it's just egg crate. So going back up is the hard part. You can see these Teflon runners on the walls. I put those there thinking that it would slide up easily, but this mattress is outrageously heavy and wants to be flat, so it doesn't really work that well. But I'll show you what I do every morning. Wedge my foot up against the wall, like so. Lift this extremely heavy mattress. Ugh. And then I use my winch. Work in progress. So I get it as tight as I can, and then I slide this side in, like that. And then for the final trick, I had into a pulley right here, thinking that I could pull it over there, but the mattress is too heavy. It's too heavy. So what I do is I stand here like this, and with my calves, I lift on this and then push it in with my calves. Try not to move suddenly so I can get over here and put tension on the winch. That's it. Easy.
Side door opens, and then you can see we can get our toiletries from the back, either if we've already put the bed down and can't get to it from the front, or if we're just camping out, then we can just grab them real quick. They slide out. But here is the gray water catch system.
So this is the back of the van. I built this little windowsill basically to hold stuff. It comes in handy. This is the air conditioner. Is my tool drawer, which in theory was going to be nice and neat and organized, and it's not. But it's full length of the bed, so you can see how long it is.
I feel like I've given up space. I do shower at the gym, and someone else washes the towels and puts them in my locker, so it's very nice. Hope you guys liked Steve's video. If you did, be sure to like and share. I am actually in a minivan right now. Don't be jealous. Maybe Steve's next project, so stay tuned.